The vast oceans of our planet hold countless wonders, many of which we are only just beginning to understand. Among these marvels are the cuttlefish, creatures that often seem to belong to another world entirely. With their shimmering skin and hypnotic movements, they glide through the water with an alien grace. But recent discoveries have revealed that their strangeness goes far deeper than their appearance. Scientists have found that these remarkable animals possess a level of intelligence that can rival that of some of our closest primate relatives. To explore this, researchers designed a clever experiment, one famously used to test the patience and foresight of human children. The results were nothing short of astonishing and have opened a new window into the complex minds of these cephalopods. The original test, known as the Stanford Marshmallow experiment, is quite simple in its design, but profound in its implications. A young child is placed in a room with a single tempting treat, such as a marshmallow, placed before them. The researcher then presents a choice. The child can eat the single marshmallow immediately, or if they can wait for a short period, perhaps 15 minutes, while the researcher is away, they will be rewarded with a second marshmallow. This test is a powerful measure of self-control and delayed gratification. It examines the ability to resist an immediate temptation in favor of a more valuable reward in the future, a cognitive skill that is linked to greater success later in life for humans. This simple concept of waiting for a better prize has become a classic benchmark for understanding cognitive abilities. Children who can successfully wait for the second marshmallow often demonstrate higher levels of planning and forward thinking. The test reveals a sophisticated mental process at work, where an individual must weigh the value of an instant, smaller reward against a future, larger one. It requires not just willpower, but also trust and an understanding of future consequences. For a long time, this kind of complex decision-making was thought to be a hallmark of higher intelligence, primarily seen in humans and a select few other highly social and long-lived animals, like chimpanzees and crows. But what if this advanced cognitive skill was not limited to land-dwelling vertebrates? What if it could be found in a soft-bodied inhabitant of the sea, a creature with a completely different evolutionary history? This was the question that drove scientists to adapt the marshmallow test for the cuttlefish. They wondered if these solitary, short-lived marine animals could also demonstrate the patience to delay gratification. The very idea was groundbreaking, as it challenged our long-held assumptions about where complex intelligence can evolve. It prompted a fascinating investigation into the mind of an animal that is, in many ways, as alien to us as any life form we could imagine. Adapting a test designed for a human child to suit an aquatic invertebrate required a great deal of creativity. Instead of marshmallows, the scientists used food that a cuttlefish would find truly irresistible. The experiment was set up with 2 transparent chambers, each containing a different type of food. One chamber held a piece of king prawn, a food the cuttlefish liked but was not their absolute favorite. This was the eat it now option. The other chamber contained a live grass shrimp, a much more desirable and lively meal. This was the better reward, the equivalent of the second marshmallow. The cuttlefish could see both options clearly, creating a tantalizing dilemma for them to solve. The next step was to teach the cuttlefish the rules of this underwater game. The chamber with the less preferred prawn had a door that would open immediately, giving the cuttlefish instant access to its snack. However, the chamber with the delicious live shrimp had a door that would only open after a delay. The researchers carefully observed the cuttlefish, noting which choice they would make. Would they snatch the readily available prawn, satisfying their immediate hunger? Or would they demonstrate the patience to wait for the more exciting live shrimp to become available? The challenge was set, and the cuttlefish were left to make their decision, with their every move recorded. To make the test even more robust, the scientists added another layer of complexity. They wanted to see if the cuttlefish could learn and adapt their waiting times based on visual cues. They introduced symbols on the doors of the chambers. A circle meant the door would open immediately, while a triangle indicated a delay. A square symbol meant the food would remain locked away indefinitely. The The cuttlefish had to learn what each of these symbols meant and adjust their behavior accordingly. This wasn't just about raw patience, it was about learning, memory, and applying that knowledge to make the most strategic choice for the best possible meal. The results of this clever experiment were truly remarkable. The cuttlefish quickly learned the meaning of the symbols. When presented with the choice between an immediate, less tasty meal and a delayed, more delicious one, they consistently chose to wait. They would hold back, sometimes for as long as 2 minutes, keeping their focus on the chamber with the live shrimp, anticipating the moment the door would finally open. This demonstrated a clear and impressive ability for self-control. They resisted the immediate temptation of the king prawn, proving that they understood that waiting would lead to a far more satisfying reward later on, a behavior that surprised even the researchers. The ability of the cuttlefish to pass this test places them in an exclusive club of intelligent animals. This capacity for self-control and planning for the future is not common in the animal kingdom. It has been observed in species known for their cognitive prowess, such as chimpanzees, who share a recent common ancestor with humans, and corvids like crows and jays, birds celebrated for their problem-solving skills. These animals, like the cuttlefish, can suppress their immediate impulses to achieve a better outcome. The fact that a cuttlefish, a mollusk with a vastly different brain structure and evolutionary path, can perform at a similar level is a testament to its extraordinary intelligence. For a cuttlefish living in the wild, this ability to wait for a better opportunity is not just a clever party trick, it is a crucial survival skill. Cuttlefish are what is known as intermittent foragers. This means they do not eat constantly, but instead hunt for food in short bursts, often punctuated by long periods of hiding and camouflage to avoid becoming someone else's meal. In this context, being selective about when and what to eat is incredibly important. Wasting energy to leave a safe hiding spot for a low-quality snack might not be worth the risk of being spotted by a hungry dolphin, seal, or shark that might be lurking nearby. By demonstrating delayed gratification, the cuttlefish shows it can make a calculated decision. It can assess whether a potential meal is worth the exposure and effort. Perhaps waiting just a little longer in its hideout will present an opportunity for a much more nutritious and energy-rich meal, like a plump crab or a juicy fish. This patience ensures that when the cuttlefish does decide to hunt, the reward justifies the risk. It allows the animal to maximize its energy intake while minimizing its time spent out in the open, vulnerable to predators. This strategic approach to foraging is likely a key reason why these creatures have thrived in the competitive ocean environment. This skill suggests a level of future planning that we are only just beginning to appreciate in animals. The cuttlefish that waited for the live shrimp was not just acting on instinct, it was making a prediction about the future. It understood that patience would lead to a better outcome. This cognitive flexibility, the ability to adapt its behavior based on changing circumstances and potential future rewards, is a sign of a highly developed mind. It shows that the cuttlefish is not simply reacting to its environment, but is actively making decisions that will benefit it later, a truly sophisticated mental feat for any animal. What makes this discovery so profound is that the intelligence of the cuttlefish evolved in complete isolation from that of vertebrates like primates and birds. Their last common ancestor was a simple worm-like creature that lived over 500 million years ago. This means that the complex brains of cuttlefish and humans are a stunning example of convergent evolution, where two completely different species independently develop similar traits to solve similar problems. In this case, the problem is how to navigate a complex world, find food, and avoid danger. And the solution appears to be a powerful and flexible brain capable of planning for the future. Researchers are still exploring the exact reasons why cuttlefish developed such impressive cognitive abilities. One theory links it directly to their unique foraging behavior. As we have seen, their stop-and-start hunting style, combined with the need to remain hidden from predators, puts a high premium on making smart choices about when to emerge for a meal. Another idea is that their remarkable ability to change their skin color and texture in an instant requires significant brain power. This dynamic camouflage is not just a reflex, it is a controlled process that involves observing their surroundings and actively matching them, a task that demands a sophisticated level of visual processing and control. Furthermore, the study found a fascinating link between a cuttlefish's patience and its other cognitive skills. The individuals who were best at waiting for the better food reward also performed better in a separate learning test. This suggests that self-control is not an isolated skill but is part of a broader suite of general intelligence in these animals. It seems that the ability to learn and the ability to control one's impulses are connected, just as they are in humans. This finding deepens the mystery and wonder surrounding the cephalopod mind, hinting at a cognitive architecture that is far more integrated and complex than we ever imagined was possible. Ultimately, studies like this serve as a powerful and humbling reminder. They challenge us to broaden our definition of intelligence and to look for it in the most unexpected corners of the natural world. The clever cuttlefish, with its impressive display of patience and foresight, proves that we should never underestimate the minds of other animals. There is a vast and intricate world of thought and experience happening all around us, in the forests, in the skies, and deep beneath the waves. The more we look, the more we find that our planet is home to an incredible diversity of intelligent life, each with its own unique way of seeing and solving the challenges of existence.